Hello students, welcome to our video online class and hope you are studying at home whatever the information we are passing by. So today I will be talking about another part of this chapter that we have began yesterday. So that is about the ecosystem. So I will be speaking about the ecosystem today basically, and chapter that we have already began about our environment, and here I have talked about the lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and the biosphere, and these are the actually natural environment. And then we will have about the last part about this discussion is on human environment. So today I will talk about the ecology. Okay, so ecology. Now, before that, we have to understand that ecology is the study of the relationship between the living organisms. So we have to understand that it is the relationship. It is the relationship between the living organisms. Okay, living organisms. Living organisms. So, what is the ecology? It is the relationship between living organisms, including we have got humans. That is their physical environment, and it seeks to understand the vital connections between plants and animals and the worlds around them. So that is the statement we can read in this paragraph. Next we have got about the ecology, also actually what provides us the information about the benefits of the ecosystems and how we can use Earth's resources. So that is we have got here. So let me talk about here that now let's see who are the ecologists. Now ecologists to whom we can refer. Now see, relationship among the organisms and habitats of many sizes, then ranging from the study of microscopic bacteria growing in a fish tank to the complex interactions between the 1000 plants, animals and other communities found in the deserts. So these are the things we have to understand. Now the role of ecology in our lives. So we have to understand the many specialists or specialities within ecology, such as like marine, vegetation and statistical ecology, provide us with information to better understand the world around us. Now, the manage natural resources, how we can manage the natural resources. So protect human health. First of all, we have to remember that how we can protect our natural environment by we can manage the natural resources. Then we have to protect human health. Okay, so these two things we have to really have to understand why these things we require. Now see, manage natural resources. For example, whatever the resources we see around us, these are all actually one way or the other kind of like supportive to us, very much supporting us. And suppose we don't take care of it, and suppose we misuse it, suppose we exploit it, and suppose we don't take care of it in a certain way, the human life will be no longer live in this earth. So that is we have to keep in mind. Secondly, we have to remember protect human health, because till we protect the environment, till we keep the systems go on properly, the human life may not be exist properly. So it means human life may find little kind of like a hindrance to survive. So today we can face it regularly. Okay, so then next question we have to understand why ecology is important to us. Now ecology is important to us because it enriches our world and is crucial for human well-being and prosperity. So it provides new knowledge of the interdependence between people and nature that is vital for food production, maintaining like clean air and water and students, when we speak about ecology, now see, whatever the ecology we find, especially the species or animals or plants we find, these are the species or plants or any animals. These are all actually one way or the other, they require the ecology. It means today any animals are surviving in this earth because there is some sort of like an ecology supporting the animals. Or let's see the we human beings. We human beings human beings also. Even human beings also, we have got some amount of things that we are receiving from this particular world. Then this also supporting us. It means the oxygen which we are getting, the food that we are eating, and then the way we are actually getting the economic support from the different plants and species. Through this one, our ecology is created. It means whatever the animals and plants are actually existing in this world are actually one way or other, they are actually getting the support from the each other. So that is the ecology actually creating. So today, for example, we find the tiger in the forest. The tiger alone is not going to survive in the forest unless some other animals will be there, unless the economic environment. So it means it is a part of the environment where this tiger is able to survive. Let's see fish in the water. Suppose the water is stagnant and oily and many chemicals supposed mixed, then certainly the fish or other species living in the water may not be survive. That's why in every area the ecology is very important to maintain, to sustain, so that the life can go on. So today we are here. So let's talk about the human environment. Now see, human environment is actually formed by humans themselves, and here we can understand or we can improve creations, then activities and other conditions of this things and all. Okay. Now, such as like a social, economic, or political in which the early human beings live in the natural environment and adapted themselves to the surroundings. Now, suppose you look at the early human beings. Early human beings. Early human beings, when you look at the early human, they live in the cave, and the food that they were eating, or the weather, or the way they adapted themselves into the situation where perhaps not much available, and perhaps the knowledge was not much at that time developed. So at that moment, these people were actually adjusted in this situation. It means killing the animals, eating the animals, then living in the cave, sometimes without clothes, without like that. Sometimes they are surviving, and sometimes without food they have to go on, and they have to go very far away in search of the food. So such kind of conditions actually they had gone through. But with the experience, with the situation, with the different calamities, made them to be aware, to protect themselves, and the situation as it go on, as it was going on, then the people actually started learning. People started actually developing themselves into ahead, and then what happened here? People adopted the different systems. For example, many of the people actually started keeping the animals around them. Many of the people started cultivating the crops and then fruits, vegetables, like that. And then with this passage of time, actually, the needs of the human being actually increase. And as we can find that the farming, grazing, and mining and constructions actually through these activities. So therefore, we find that through these activities, actually, what happened? There were many of the people gradually they learned to make use over and over and more, and it became such as some sort of like a business. and people started exploiting, people started misusing the environment to such an extent, and that they have disturbed the natural balance of the environment. So the more people became access towards this environment, and then people started exploiting it, misused has taken place more and more, and then gradually this particular misuse and exploitation became extreme. Therefore, the global warming has taken shape. So that is we can understand. Now, many species, for example, from this world, how this is getting extinct and disappearing. So we have got like some of the animals which perhaps we don't see nowadays. So extinct animals such as like a dodo, great auk, then steelers, sea cow, then a Tasmanian tiger, then a passenger pigeon, then a Pyrenean ibex, then a sabre-toothed lions. Of course, this is sabre-toothed lions actually extinct to 55 million to 11,700 years ago. Actually, disappeared this two varieties of animals. Then we have got woolly mammoth. It seems like a elephant in earlier days. Fully the body was covered with the hair. Okay, especially his fur is available. Then again we can find that Baiji white dolphin also extincted. It is not found nowadays. So these are the few animals gradually extinct, and then now we can't see them. So in our next generation, perhaps they may not see many of the species from this world. So that's why it is your and my duty, and the whole world, especially our educated people, should take care of this area to be more and more protected. Measures should be taken. Otherwise, gradually the days will go by, and then we will not have any of the species in this world. So we can't show any of the examples for our next generation. So we have to care about it. So that is about. So many species getting extinct due to the deforestation and hunting. Then again you can find that deforestation actually has increased the amount of carbon dioxide. So that is another thing is taking place in the air, and it led to global warming. So therefore, which are the things we can find here? See, loss of the trees and other vegetation can cause climatic change, and then desertification, then soil erosion, then fewer gases in the atmosphere, and a host of problems for indigenous people. And a primary cause of deforestation, we can say that livestock ranching, and then illegal logging, then urbanization, deforestation of land, mining, forest fires, then paper, etc. So these are the things we have got in the world is happening. So how we can avoid all these areas? How we can avoid? So nature has its own means of restoring its losses. But yes, nature, if it is losses by itself, the nature can give, nature can grow. But here one human interference is there. That is urbanizations actually have caused environmental pollution to such an extent that its repair is getting beyond the power of the nature. It means the nature now at present do not have the power to maintain, to grow, because human beings in every way reaching out, and then they are actually interferences and karma. So that is how actually we find. Therefore, you see that some of the sicknesses causing in the world, for example, some of the land changes. Here we can find around land use of change. See, when you see the land change, especially land use of change. Now see, land use change. How much percentage we have to say? 31%. 31% of the land from this land use, people are getting the sick. Then agricultural industry, agricultural industry, change. How much percentage is that? around 15%. 15%. Then you will have food industry change. Food industry change. Food industry change is there. How much percentage? Food industry is 2%. 2%. And then again, you have the medical industry changes. Medical. Medical industry change. How much percentage? Medical is 11%. Okay, 11%. And then human demography and then behavior. Human demography and behavior. Here how much percentage we can see? 4%. 4%. And then climate and weather 6%. Climate and weather 6%. So these are the few things that we can find at the land actually. Land use or agricultural use, food industry use, medical, human demography, then climate and weather. These are the all areas actually. From this type of changes, you will find that many human beings are actually getting affected very much. So therefore, now what is our primary duty to protect all these areas? Now, for example, we have to protect this way that. Or rather we can contribute some extent to protect this our environment. So number one point we have to remember that plant a tree where you can. Planting tree is a must. Then go paperless and especially paperless at home and in the offices. Then buy recycled products and then recycle them again. Then buy certified good products. Then support the products of companies that are committed to the reducing deforestation. It means whatever the company actually bringing the products which is actually part of the not affecting the environment, then we should support them. Okay. So these are the few things we have to keep in mind. So let us find how we can understand. Okay. So student, today with a few human environment we have discussed. So you read more about this page number 107 and 108. Okay, of this geography chapter, and then you understand more about it. And there is one mind map is there. So please you read through this one and you practice so that you will get it. Okay? And as your homework, I would like to ask you to make a short note on a ecosystem, and under this ecosystem you will have one more point, it is a human environment. So these 2 points you keep around 3 points each you have to prepare and then write in your copy. Okay, so thank you and have a great day.